Hello, and welcome back to the Those Coffee People podcast, where we uncover the stories, passions, and communities behind every cup. I'm your host, Jennifer, and today we're exploring a truly inspiring journey of love, community, and coffee. My guest today is Lafree, co-founder of Soirée Coffee Bar in Dallas, Texas, a place that's more than just a cafe. It's a product of teamwork and a shared dream that blossomed into a space where culture, collaboration, and community come together. In this episode, we'll dive into what it's really like to build a family business. Soiree has become a hub for community impact and the lessons learned from 5 years in business. And of course, the spirit of collaboration that defines the North Texas coffee scene. Lafree, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much for coming on. So let's start from the beginning. Soiree Coffee Bar is more than just a coffee shop. It's also the product of your long partnership as a couple with your husband. Tell us a little bit more about the story of starting this family business.
Me and Nancy Cloud, we just celebrated 30 years together on Saturday. And for Soiree at a time when there was so much going on in the community and in the world, COVID and Black Lives Matter and everything, it was truly, truly, truly important for us to pour the love that we still have for each other into the coffee shop and the community to try to bring it. So we prayed here, we loved here, and we just wanted people to experience the love that we have for each other and pour out into the community through coffee, connections, and great food and great jazz music.
Nice, nice. I love
So
it.
in the beginning, was a little rough because, of course, we opened during COVID when things had just shut down. We opened a lot of uncertainty in the community, a lot of depression, animosity in the community. Well, in the heart of West Dallas, which was one of the most impoverished communities in Dallas at one point in time. So our why is how can we bring some water? How can we bring everybody together? How can we get resources, blood, helping each other, and partnership and everything? And so that's how slow was, back in the 1850s. Music is what soothes people. And so that's where the jazz piece comes in to bring in that music, that harmony, those notes with segues into the coffee notes. So, in creating space for the community to come back together, we decided not to have TVs. We made it jazz based or jazz inspired, and also with the coffee. We have a cocktail bar as well. So, we try to embody all those things that connect people but not distract them as well. And so, we wanted everybody to get back to communication and talking. And again, communication is something that also helps the longevity of our marriage and everything. And so those morals and values that we embodied in our marriage were things that we want to incorporate into Soiree. And so that's what we set out for. That's what we did. And so far it's been beautiful.
Lafrey, it's wonderful. I love to hear that. And that actually perfectly leads me to the next thing I wanted to ask you, which is that in the coffee world, I think there are a lot of couples who want to go into business together. I see a lot of businesses that are run by spouses, by partners. And I'd love to know, after all of your experience in this, what is a piece of advice you wish you would have known from the beginning about running a coffee business with your partner?
One of the things is that we had been together so long already and we were kind of setting our ways on different things. We had to go back to the drawing board and we had to say, okay, look, yes, we're married, but this is a partnership in business. And so what we have to do is we have to define our roles. We can't tackle this like we're tackling things at home with the kids and bills and things. So we literally defined our role. I am front of the house, he is back of the house. Because again, we're not just a coffee shop. We have a full food menu. We do events for the community, fundraisers. Like there's so many different things that we do that is just not in line with just selling coffee. And so he's back of the house. We defined those roles so that we would not step on each other's toes and create arguments at home or at the business that we took home with us. And so that was very, very helpful for us because for my husband, it did not feel like I was, like micromanaging him or trying to tell him what to do as a man. And then for me, it gave me the creative space to come up with ideas and things for the front of the house as well. So if I had to say anything, define your roles in the business as a partnership. And then even when you go to dinner, we still had to make sure that we carved out time for date night for us to hang out and things. And when we did that, we put the phones away. We had the rule, okay, in the first 5 minutes of appetizers, we might talk about the business. But after that, we put the phones away and we don't talk about business. This is our time. We talk about personal stuff, family, and then what we're lacking in our lives to that we need to fulfill for each other or things like that.
Wonderful. I love that. Yes. Separation, agreement on who does what, and being able to try and put it away at the end of the day. If that's possible, then yes, absolutely go for it.
Personality, I'm a Virgo and we're both ex-army, so we're veterans.
Okay.
So I have a strong personality and I can kind of take over sometimes. And so it's like, I have to step back and say, okay, you gotta let him do his thing as well too. And so that's what it is.
Oh, nice. I love that. Thanks. Thanks for sharing those tips. And I'm sure that there's some listeners out there who are probably wondering the same thing. Now, I have another question that leads into community and impact. So, one thing that stood out for us about Soiree is your dedication to community and to impact. You've been active in events like North Texas Giving Day and use Soiree as a place and a way to give back. I would like to know, why was community involvement such an important part of your vision for Soiree?
Well, again, I go back to our why and the reason we opened the community or we just felt like the community was in disarray. Everybody was so segregated and there's so much animosity and things. And so community is our why. I'll be honest, the comedy piece is just what connected it. But bringing the community back together was on the forefront of everything that we embodied into Soiree. Without the community, we would close down. If the community doesn't come, if they don't support, if they don't believe in our vision, it would be very hard to keep the doors open and the lights on. And just honestly speaking, but it's more than that. In a place where other entrepreneurs and in the community don't have a platform to promote their businesses or push their businesses forward, or don't have a meeting spot to connect with their clients in a community where education is necessary for the teenagers and just people, financial literacy about different things. This is the hub. This has become a hub for that. And so whether you're trying to open your own business or you're trying to add more clients to your portfolio, whether you're trying to get more information about diseases and financial literacy, health, things like that, this has become a hub for that. And so this is a spot for people to be able to come and find out about different things that make a community what it is and that make a community healthy the community. And so we don't just do this for us. A lot of our vendors are local in the community. Our musicians that perform during our brunch weekends, they're local to the community. So we're giving a space and giving opportunity for other people in the community to thrive. And I think for us, that makes it a healthy community.
I love that. And you're mentioning that it is a space where people can gather and discuss around these topics. Do you have any specific programs right now or recently that you have put out to help with things like community health, with financial literacy?
Yes, we've partnered with, there was one at law office that we partnered with that came in and spoke to people about protecting their business, how to set up their business, first of all, structuring it, how to protect their businesses, how to trademark things, and just how to put operation agreements and things in place to protect them if they're in partnerships. We partnered with the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, who actually will be here tomorrow. And they come in and do something that's called the Power Breakfast on like the second or third Wednesday of each month. And they will bring in resources. It may be Chase Bank that will talk about how to get grants for your business or how to buy home. They will bring in panels where they're speaking about just different topics that are helped in the community. We partnered with Cosign Magazine, who had helped. They had a whole entrepreneur program, and it was a 4-week course where new entrepreneurs came in and they learned different things from structuring their business to marketing to financial literacy. And we catered it. They hosted it here.
And then they also did a pitch at the end of that program. And that pitch, they were in to win different monetary prizes and stuff for their businesses. And partners of that was like Foss Bank, other resources that all partnered together to sponsor the food or to do things to help these entrepreneurs be able to win prizes at the end of their pitch competition as well too. So all of these things help the community. There's so much more. We've held fundraisers for nonprofits where we sponsor our venue and they come in and they host their fundraisers and we might name a few drinks after it and then we donate proceeds to help. And so there's just so many different things that we're here and we've done in the past. And then the sky's the limit for the future for what we're going to do to help with the community.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. That's
North
so
Texas,
beautiful to
North
hear.
Texas Giving Day was amazing. That was the most recent thing that we did. And they wanted this to be a location where all the nonprofits and things can come and pick up their signs. But when they came, it was so much more. They took over our patio. Like when the people came, they didn't just pick up signs and leave. A lot of them didn't even know we existed, we were here, and then we saw some familiar faces that had been here before. They eat, they networked, they pulled tables together. Some people were looking for other type of businesses to partner with other things. They found that within this, and I can recall it, but can't specifically call the names. But they connected with other businesses that helped in things that they were looking for their businesses. It was beautiful. It was so many people came through here that day. I mean, I was just like in awe because it was so much more than what I expected it to be.
Amazing. And that was just recently.
That was just recently, yes, a few weeks ago.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I know that this year is an exciting year for Soiree as you're going to mark your 5-year anniversary. Awesome milestone. I'm wondering if you could share with us what were some of the surprises, good or bad, in these past 5 years that have been pivotal in shaping your journey so far?
Okay, for one, the timing that we opened during COVID. None of us knew what to
Hmm.
expect after that.
Yes, I'm sure.
When everything started working, opening back up and everything started to get back to normal, that was a very hard time for us because we had to go backwards in a sense. So when we opened, you had to still keep the distance. We weren't doing buffets, we weren't catering food, we weren't doing a lot of things. And so once things opened back up, there was more competition, more partnerships, but also we had to go backwards and redefine or reevaluate what we were already doing and transition to like online, like not just online ordering, but opening things up. So that was very hard for us because how can I say it? It's like community that was like nationally on a whole. People just had a hard time with a lot of different things. And if the communities around us had a hard time with finances and things like that. It affected us where people spend their money, where people spend their time. And so to remain relevant and also to remain what we set out to be during those difficult times, we had to literally sit back and revise not our business plan, but just add to it and come up with things that still defined who we are, stay true to who we are, but still went the extra mile to help the community in a sense. And so there were times when we went through hard times, even keeping the lights on and the bills paid and stuff. And I'll tell you one of the most dramatic things that happened to us, grief. Um, 2021, my husband lost his mom. It was very sudden. And then he lost his sister 2 months later. It's my dad 8 months later. So we lost three key, very close family members during the time we were birthing Soiree, and business doesn't stop. What the community knew us for, helping people, and giving and being boots on the ground, on the floor, talking to our customers and encouraging them. It was very hard to find enough peace inside my heart to put energy into encouraging our customers and continuing on the journey after just losing my dad and my mother-in-law, who were very, very near and dear to us. My husband saw it differently. He saw it as them getting a promotion, but it was very hard for me to continue on. And so I'm very humble. But when I look back over that time and how we maneuvered through it and how we um, transitioned through it, and we still showed up daily for our customers. I'm very, very, very proud of me and my husband. And so no matter what adversity that we faced during these 5 years, we always look back on that and it strengthened us. We persevered. And I do credit some of that to our military background, things that we were taught while we were in the military. But I'm very, very proud of that moment. And I feel like after we found out we can make it through the loss of our close loved ones, we felt like we can make it through anything. And so we showed up daily, and a lot of people didn't even know what we were going through. And so I'm able to now encourage other entrepreneurs that lose a loved one or things get so crazy when they are, in the beginning stages of growing their business or even seasoned entrepreneurs we talk to. So that was a hard time. And I think sometimes people overlook things that entrepreneurs go through in their personal lives because all they see is the forefront of the business, not the back of the house. They don't see all the turmoil, the things that we go through personally. And that was very, 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 very hard.
What a situation. You're right. It's not just the problems in our business, it's the problems that we exist as we go through this life as a human and our existence within this world apart from the business. Shoot, that's a really tough situation. I'm sorry you had to go through it, but I hope that, yeah, things are coming out stronger on the other side.
I didn't cry through this interview talking about it. So that tells you the strength and the peace, that we've acquired. And a lot of our customers were there for us too. And so when you pour into a community and they find out you're going through something and they pour back into you, huh, that's
It's
amazing.
powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, speaking about the community, I know something else that stood out in our pre-conversation is how we discussed about Soiree's involvement in collaboration, which I know in the coffee industry sometimes it's hard to openly collaborate with other people or with other players in the market. I know you don't only do coffee, but there's something really beautiful that I saw, which is how you specifically highlight the local roasters that you partner with. I would love if you could tell us a little bit more about these partnerships with local roasters and yeah, any details about how it is that you're getting awesome coffee.
Again, I have to go back to our why for opening and the trouble that a lot of, not just black owned businesses in general had trouble during that time. But for the local small businesses or Black owned businesses that don't have the corporate funds to back them, we wanted to support them as well. And so since we were so popular and people supported us, we wanted to have companies or vendors that were struggling in business. We figured if we push their products here and people came here to purchase stuff, we were not only keeping ourselves in business, but them as well. And so we were using counterculture at the beginning, which is their coffee is amazing. Trust me, very, very good company. But what we're trying to do was help others. And so there was a company, Charles Ray's Roasters, their husband and wife. They came to us and we met them and they were newly into the coffee roaster business. And so we thought, this is awesome. If we could help as much coffee as we push, if we could help this other business, then, it's not competition, it's collaboration. Again, we're helping a community. But we didn't just make it easy because of that. We're like, okay, well, this is what we have now, and our customers love it. So let's work together. If you guys can create blends that are specific to soiree and that are inspired by our jazz themes and things like that, then we could talk about, pulling you guys on board. In the meantime, Ezra Coffee it's a female owned brand who's now in HEB and a few other places. We allowed her to actually also bring in some of her coffees that we use. She has some that were seasonal and just some regular things. And so we brought her in to push her coffee out here. And then she was able to push my coffee is in soiree and that people that wanted her stuff could come here and purchase it as well. But also I forget the name of one of the blends, but it was very, very different. And so we actually sold that as a seasonal house brew as well. Mind you, when we opened, there was only like one or two coffee shops in the DFW area. Nothing major as far as like black owned. And so now I'm proud to say that there's about 8 to 10 that have opened up. And so for us, it's not competition. We are excited to see them open and thriving as well. And so we recently just won an award for the Southern Taste of Dallas Awards and for Best Coffee Shop. And we saw another company, Kingsman Coffee, and they were saying, y'all, we kind of like, watch you guys and we open our coffee shop and we close down and open back up and just telling us a lot of positive things while, how they've watched us grow and the different things that we do and things like that. And so, yeah, for us, it's a lot. It's enough room out here for a lot of us to thrive in the coffee industry, whether it be roasting, a coffee shop, e-commerce. I've also helped a couple of females that have e-commerce coffee that are now getting their coffee from Charles Ray's Roasters. And so it just kind of helps the whole ecosystem. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that. And I will say that I've created my own brand as the female portion of Soirée Coffee Diva. And so I have that
Oh my
coming.
gosh, I love it.
I have an e-commerce site that will be dropping soon, with Coffee Diva.
Okay.
I have my own lines of coffee. And it's because I get a lot of females that ask me to mentor them or business owners and want to go into tea and coffee. And so that's going to be surrounding that and selling coffee and coffee products and things like that on the site. And so I feel like I'm the diva of coffee in the DFW area. So yeah,
Oh
I
my
have a
gosh,
whole brand.
I love it. How's
Yeah.
the branding of it gonna look? Are you gonna also include like a jazzy feel or anything similar of soiree, or is it a totally different look and feel?
It's totally different. It's more towards the women. So
Okay.
my logo is a coffee bean with the silhouette of a female in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give you a little tidbit of that, but it's really cute. And it's Coffee Diva, and it's more so like professional, luxurious, a feel for coffee and women entrepreneurs and resources for Army veterans and things like that. But more and more so tailored to women, professional women.
I love it. I'm so excited to hear about that. And as soon as your site goes live, you're definitely gonna have to let me know. I'd love to follow along with the
Yes,
journey.
I want to go to Origin. I want to show the beat. I mean, just all the whole. That's more of getting to the source and showing people what it takes, to get coffee over here. So yeah, I'm excited.
What a beautiful experience and what an amazing journey that coffee actually gets to take us on from exploring origin to supporting our communities to supporting causes that matter to us, women entrepreneurship, women in coffee. I love it. And I love that
So
coffee can
it's,
sort of be this
you know,
common denominator.
and what's so crazy is, I was in the Army, I was in the JAG Corps. So during my tour in Iraq, the JAG office, the attorneys, they love coffee, and so I had to master how each one liked their coffee while I'm over, not knowing that a few years later that I would be opening up my own coffee shop. So it's amazing. A lot of the attorneys that I served with are proud of us. And so, yeah, my love for coffee has just deepened because I see how creative you can be. I see the connections that come out of it. I see, how people gather and communicate and just different things that I think is just beautiful and what we need in society today.
Amazing. You're right. We do need more of that. In a world that could be so heavily divided, there is one thing we can all seem to sort of get behind, which is coffee. So, well, this has been an unbelievable story. I love everything that you've been able to share with us from building this together with your partner to going through trials and tribulations, going through a global pandemic, and building out every day stronger and stronger. I have one last question for you. If any of our listeners want to get involved and want to come and visit Soiree or want to get in contact with you, what would be the best way that they could do that?
So, first I'll say we are in Dallas, West Dallas, and Trinity Groves, 320 Singleton Boulevard, Suite 190. They can find us on Instagram, Soiree Coffee Bar, Facebook at Soiree Coffee Bar. We're on TikTok as well, and our website, www.soireecoffeebar.com. We also try to promote which musicians will be performing on brunch weekends on our website. We try to put up information about events that are coming up. Like right now, we're having a Summer Soul series. We're almost at the end of each Thursday night. We have musicians coming and performing. It's been beautiful. And so, again, they can track us Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think I'm leaving something out, but our website, soireecoffeebar.com as well. And look for us to
Amazing.
expand for multiple. We're working on.
Nice. Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for all of your time, for sharing this amazing story. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I guess that's all for now.
Yes. Thank you so much. And shout out to my husband, Clive. He's not here, but I love him so dearly. Without him, couldn't do this at all.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you so much for this episode, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Thank you.